All right, so we have our basic project that I showed how to set up, so you can start writing unit tests and start doing your coding katas. I've also shown how to create sort of a coding template so you can quickly create failing unit tests that you can use as your starting point for your katas. Next thing is I would want to show some navigation here. Okay, so here I have project from one of the other videos. We have a whole bunch of tests here. I can't remember if they're failing or not. I have a bunch of windows open. So if we look how to close these editor windows. So this is an editor window here. This space here is an editor window. And these things around the edge are called views. Okay? You click on them and they're different views of how to see stuff in your project. You guys probably know that already. So first, let's close our windows. So on my machine, it's Command W. You'd see what it is on your machine. All my windows are closed. Now, I have a special presenters plugin, so it's going to show a lot of the shortcuts as I use them. The most important shortcut, I would say, is this double shift that we're seeing here. Okay, double shift. So I do double shift, and it allows me to start typing things, and I can search for pretty much anything here, right? I can search for some files, or I can search for help related things, like for instance if I wanted to see how to configure the plugins. Okay, or if I wanted to, well, for instance, if we go to the plugins, and these are all the plugins that are in the marketplace, and here are the ones that are installed, and the one I just talked about is the presentation assistant, which will show the shortcuts on the page as they go on. I want to leave that. I hit escape. Okay, so I hit my escape key off and it takes me away from things. So double shift is your friend. In one of the other videos I show how to make up the coding template, file and code templates, right? And I made one of these guys earlier in another video, and here's the template I made, and here's the template I made. Let's just delete one of these templates I made. This is the one I use for my unit test. So escape, escape. Here I am in this view again. The next one they talk about is the project view. This is a very important one. This shows all the files. Now I'd say a key concept is if I pick one of these files and I'm sort of browsing through them, I selected one, I hit the enter key. Okay. Now I'm in the editor. You can see my cursor's in the editor, but I want to go back. So in my case I hit F12. I'm back in the previous view. I select, and if I hit escape, I'm back in the editor. F12, previous view. Escape, back in the editor. Okay, it's very good. On a small screen like this, another one I would want is to hide all the views. See, restore and hide. So in this case you see Control Shift F12 or Command Shift F12 depending on what machine you're in, and I keep repeatedly hitting it. Okay. Okay, another window that's very interesting is, well, let's close this guy. So another one that I use quite a lot is the Command E, which could be Control E on your platform. This shows a history of all the things, the files I've opened. So quite often I go to one file, I do something, I go back to the previous file, back and forth. Just, okay, I'm hitting enter to select it. If there's a particular file I'm interested in, I start typing here. Okay, and it will help me find it. See, there's the POM file, for example. So that's cool. And the other thing I like about this view is you see over here, it tells you all of the shortcuts to some of the different views that are important. Okay, so here's there, for instance, there's the hierarchy view. I just typed H and it searched for both the files that I recently edited and the views, and I'm using my cursor left, and I go over here and it changes me to views, and there, that's done. Now to close the view, I do Shift to Escape and they close the view. Okay, again I'm toggling here, hiding, restoring all windows, because like I said, on this machine the space is necessary. I don't have a lot of space for typing. Now that I have this, there's some very basic navigation things I want to be able to do. and this was find the definition of something. That's often the case, right? I found the definition of it by doing, in my case it was Command B. See? And then now that I have it, I can see this. The other thing is I might want to find usages of it. So you saw what it is. It was Alt F7 on my machine, okay? And now these are all the places I use it in my project. And since I have all these sort of dummy tests that I created, you can see where I use them. And I'm using the arrow left and right keys to expand things, but I probably can also expand it at all by doing something like, yeah, I used my Command equals. So I'm using the plus and the minus keys in combination with my control key, or in my case the command key. It's not showing in the shortcuts. Okay, hide that view again with Shift Escape, and I'm back to my main editor window. Okay, I'd say that's the start. Oh, one last thing. Say I often like to see hierarchies. So for navigating, for example, Control H shows everything that inherits from the matcher. Okay, this is from the Hamcrest project that we use for debugging. Okay, cool. And so just like I can navigate up and down, select one of those, it'll open the file. Hit F12, it takes me back to the view so I can go up and down again. And that's the basics. Okay, thanks.